The G-Skill Ripjaw's KM570 gaming keyboard features genuine Cherry MX mechanical switches, customizable per-key lighting effects and macro support, full N-key rollover, and more. Click the link in the description for more details.
Excellent!
So last week I attended an AMD press event, as many of you deduced by my tweets and or a particularly insightful conspiracy thread on the AMD subreddit. While much of the information shared there still remains under embargo, today you'll be hearing about Radeon Instinct, a new suite of hardware and open source software offerings designed to dramatically increase performance efficiency and ease of implementation of deep learning workloads. And although there's likely a niche of my audience who drools over news about machine learning hardware and what it means for our future robot overlords, the bulk of you probably want to know what the hell this has to do with Vega, the code name for Radeon Technology Group's long-awaited next-gen GPU family. To explain that, let's first figure out what the heck Radeon Instinct is. So basically there's too much data. It's generated every day by everything from social media posts to traffic sensors, and combing through it is impossible without networks of big fast computers. AMD's new solution for this is Radeon Instinct, represented by a hardware-software combination of their new Zen-based Naples server CPUs, Radeon GPUs, and ROCm, Radeon Open Compute for deep learning neural networks. Going into any depth about this type of thing is beyond me, so I will be linking to several articles in this video's description for anyone who wants to read a little bit further about that. PC Perspectives write-up is also linked down there because I owe Ryan Shrout a shout-out, TM, for inspiring the wild theories I'm about to share. So since GPUs can process massive quantities of parallel operations, they're ideal for handling tasks that provide huge amounts of data. For example, analyzing global financial markets, helping the AI on an autonomous vehicle deal with sensor input, or hyper-realistic 3D real-time renders of ray-traced environments. AMD introduced 3 GPUs today that they have renamed accelerators to align with their intended tasks. And side note, they're all passively cooled because they're made to live in server racks that have their own loud-ass fans. The Radeon Instinct MI6 has 5.7 teraflops of compute performance, 16 gigs of memory, 224 gigabytes per second of memory bandwidth, a 150 watt TDP, and is Polaris based, so you could equate it to an RX 480 on the gaming GPU side, apart from it having twice the memory and a bit less memory bandwidth. The Radeon Instinct MI8 has 8.2 teraflops of compute performance, 4 gigabytes of HBM memory, a 175 watt TDP, and AMD tells us quite directly that it's based on their Fiji GPU, which is the same one that's used in the R9 Fury and Nano. Finally, there is the Radeon Instinct MI25 with a 300 watt TDP, but no compute performance listed or any other juicy specs really. Apart from one huge one, it will use AMD's next generation high performance Vega GPU architecture. So let me be very clear here that we're now moving into the theory crafting and speculation part of this video, and to begin, let's assume a couple things. One is that there's probably only one actual Vega GPU, the chip itself, that Radeon is almost ready to launch. And two is that the rack mount solutions that AMD has also showed us today have somewhat accurate compute performance listed. My suspicion, which Mr. Shrout further validated at breakfast the other day, was that if these two things are correct, then it's a simple matter of division to get a ballpark idea of Vega's compute performance. These racks are truly stacked with variants in the 100 and 400 teraflop range, as well as the ridiculous Inventec rack with 3 petaflops of GPU compute by way of 120 MI25 GPUs. So let's do math and remember that NVIDIA's $1,200 Titan X Pascal card boasts floating point compute performance of 11 teraflops. If the Inventec rack can push 3 petaflops, that's 3,000 teraflops, divided by 120 MI25s, that's 25 teraflops. That can't be right. What about the other racks? The 100 teraflop one has 4 MI25s, that makes 25 teraflops per card. The Falcon Witch has 16 MI25s for 400 teraflops, also 25 per card. I mean, it's called the MI25. The 25 is right there. And the MI6 and MI8 also have names that roughly align with their terafloppiness. Okay, let's not rush to conclusions. I present you also this shaky footage of Raja Kaduri at the press event actually showing us an MI25 card, and it looks big, and also possibly dual slot if we zoom and enhance there, whereas the MI6 and MI8 are single slot, so it could maybe be a dual GPU card with 2 of the Vega GPUs in it. That would still be 12.5 teraflops per GPU though, which would still seem like more than the Titan XP until you realize that the Instinct cards are referencing FP16 values, whereas the Titan XP is measuring FP32 computations. So basically you cut the numbers in half for the Instinct cards and you get roughly the equivalent. So my dual GPU theory probably goes out the window in that case. 12.5 teraflops though in FP32 mode is still more than the Titan XP. Again, this is speculation. Floating point raw compute performance doesn't always mean good frame rates in games. We don't have launch dates or anything, we don't have full specs, and I could just be flat out wrong. But anyway, one last thing to note. AMD says that Radeon Instinct products are expected to ship in the first half of 2017, so if the MI25 is among them, we could assume Vega GPUs will be ready and available in that time frame as well. But who really knows for sure? Anyway guys, that is all for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I don't often do the speculation thing, so let me know if you thought this was useful for you at all. Of course, there was more juicy information from that event, but I can't share it with you yet. So hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see those videos when they come out. Also check out my store link down there if you want to buy some merchandise. And as always, thanks for watching.